All right, so target filled on oil. Again, this was the alert posted last night a bit after 6 p.m. to buy 77.86. So here it is. It was a second touch of the trigger. The first touch, the first break of the trigger, I should say, happened earlier on. If we can squeeze the chart here, right close to 4 a.m. So I wasn't awake for this one, but I did get this one. And time is 7:03. As always, this is a funded account. All right, let's see what else I'll be able to catch this morning. All right, so now waiting for gold here. Gold was buy at 1891. It triggered earlier. I wasn't awake, so I wasn't able to catch that trade. It comes again into the area. If you're wondering why this was not a long, it's because the first bar that came out was actually a red bar. Price did not go deep enough. In this case, price now did go deep, and now when price comes out, if it comes out, it's going to be obviously blue. The bars are going to be blue, and then the other trader is going to take a long trade. So I just got to wait. All right, so on gold now, price broke through. The bar needs to close above that edge. Then the other trader is going to take a long trade. If it's just a wick, there was no trade yet. The other trader keeps you honest. So let's see if there is actual bar close above that edge in gold. In the meantime, here's also the NASDAQ. Sorry guys, I know it looks ugly here, but I'm just trying to fit everything. So, all right. So we have the NASDAQ, we have the S&P, and we have gold. And now gold indeed triggered a long trade. So short on NASDAQ and S&P, long in gold. All right, so gold just hit its target with very nice positive slippage. Very nice. I am taking heat right now in NASDAQ and S&P. So gold hits target plus positive slippage, and S&P and NASDAQ taking some drawdown. So we'll let this play out. There is a stop on top. It's higher up, but there is a hard stop on top. I put it at the nearest major pivot. All right, so now the S&P hits its target, and the Nasdaq it's close to its target. So it did take some heat on this trade in both the Nasdaq and the S&P, but now both of them worked out. So again, every single chart you see, it's the same exact funded account that I am showing in trade recaps. Oops, maybe went to the other screen. Here it is. Okay. So so far, what did we have today? We had oil, we had gold, we had S&P, and the Nasdaq. The other traders doing everything. So this was the gold trade that really took no heat at all. Gold was just beautiful. Went into the area, just came out, and not an issue at all. And again, the same exact funded account. All right, guys, I got to get to work. It is close to open. So all this took place without, it's not even the open session yet. So all these trades took place before the market opens. I'll see you during the recap. Okay, so Wednesday, I hope you enjoyed the live trades. And now we can go over the full recap of all the instruments. So again, this is the account that trades only the alerts. It trades every trade that I can catch. It trades each alert only once, even though alerts very often trigger more than once, but only once for this purpose. It trades only one E-mini contract and goes for $100. That's it. So we started back in February 1st. If you watched that video, we started at 161,500. And now we have the balance here after today's trading. So today, the one market that got away from me was the Dow. The Dow did not trigger, and I think at around 10:30, I just disabled it. I don't like trading after a certain point in the day because things get choppy and I just don't trust the action. So very often, if I can't, if something doesn't trigger or if I can't catch an alert by a certain time in the morning, I'm just disabling it and that's it. Okay, so now let's look over the alerts. All right, so let's start with the Nasdaq. It was a short at 12,712. So again, a number of times triggering down and giving you your 5-point target, triggering all along here. Where would I put a stop? Like if this initial trigger here, I would put it on top of this pivot over here. Later on, the pivots get a bit higher, but this pivot was pretty good, right? After triggering, hitting target, came back in. If you missed that trade, again, not the smallest risk. So, I mean, 26 points. I mean, the Nasdaq is the Nasdaq. It's going to require a larger monetary, let's say, stops. That's just how the market is. You can use a smaller time frame than a 3 minute to try and give yourself a lower pivot. That could be the answer for you. But regardless of that, even if you took some heat, it looks like it pretty straight went down after first coming up. It just went straight down over here. So, and again, leaving obviously a lot of money on the table. But you just never know when the trigger happens how many points they're going to give you. And if you're trying to go for more, that's great. We do have some members in the channel who go for more. I just recommend just take the 100. The S&P was a short at 41.56, and just like yesterday, I think one of the group members today counted 12 times. 12 times the S&P triggered and gave you your 2-point target. So obviously you would not trade it 12 times. You're just looking to get that 100 and be done. But another just terrific trading day for us, the S&P. Oil was long at 77.86, and again triggering a number of times from the European Open and then into the US Open, definitely giving you more than 10 ticks on each one of these occurrences here. Oil, just like pretty much anything else, has been really good to us. Gold was along at 91, 1891. And again, triggered during the European session, then came down, triggered again. Now gave you definitely more than the 10 ticks you would need, and then just sold off. Did it come up again? And this would have been a heartbreaker. That's why, by the way, right over here is the reason why I don't like to trade after 11 o'clock. And very often, if the alert did not trigger yet, which what happened today with the Dow by 11, I just shut it because of this. You see this? This is definitely a losing trade price comes up and then just collapses from this trigger. So yeah, don't like trading after 11 o'clock. The Russell triggered a short at 1960. So it looks like a bit after the US Open. Came close over here, but not quite. The 1960 was triggered. Again, talking about pivots and risk. Upon this initial break of the trigger, this pivot is very high, and you probably would not want to take this initial trigger. Once it came down again, now the risk is much smaller. You see, so that's why it really pays to be patient. If this is too much, again, after triggering short and hitting your target, price comes back up again, and now the target is right. The pivot is much lower, and again, the trade definitely works out. So, what I always tell the group members is that because these levels, these buy and sell levels that I post, trigger more than once anyway, there is no hurry. Take your time, let the market do what it needs to do. It will probably, most of the time, it retraces back to the trigger. And here is another beauty one, right? Comes up to the trigger short again. Very small pivot over here, not much risk. Not much risk over here. And down they go. So, hope you enjoyed it. We're having just great trading. This whole week so far has been great trading. If you want to join us, please email me or go to our website. It will be great to have you part of the group.